Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Chembasis. So in this lecture, I am going to talk about the stereochemistry of organic molecule. So this lecture series will be divided into several chapters. So this is basically the first part or the first lecture of the lecture series on stereochemistry. So in this lecture, I will give you a very brief introduction about what is called the chirality. So let's begin the lecture. So first of all, as you have know that if you try your right-handed gloves into your left hand, it will not fit into that left hand because your right-handed gloves is basically a chiral object. So what is this chiral object? So what this mean that these types of chiral objects are very specific. They can only fit into some particular type of object. So that's why they are called the chiral object. This word chiral basically came from some Greek word that I will discuss later in the lecture. So first of all, you should understand or you should remember that the chiral object means that it is very specific type of object. It doesn't fit into any object like a right-handed gloves. Right-handed gloves couldn't fit into the left hand. So that's why we call this right-handed gloves a chiral object. Okay. Now the question is, how can we actually identify that which object is chiral and which object is achiral? So the word achiral is totally opposite to a chiral. So whatever object which are not chiral object are called the achiral object. So what is the thumb rule, or how do we know that this object is chiral, this object is achiral? So there is some particular way, using this way we can actually identify this thing. Okay, so let's start to understand it. So first of all, you should know that what is called the chiral object. So you know that every object has some mirror image. So if you put some object and if you put it in front of some mirror, you will see the mirror image of that object. So if you put any object in front of a mirror image, let's see, you are putting this glass. So you can see that this is a picture of a glass, and in front of that glass there is one glass mirror, and this is the mirror image. So as you can see, A is the glass, actual glass, and B is the mirror image of that glass. Now what you can see that the actual object and the mirror image of that object, these two are exactly identical. So what does this mean? That if you take this object and just put in that place of that mirror image, it will totally fit into that part. So this is called superimposable. So this object is totally superimposable to object B. So that's why you can say that object A and its mirror image B are absolutely exact, or they are superimposable. So these types of objects are called achiral object. So what is the achiral object? The object which are exactly same to its mirror image, or they can be exactly superimposable to its mirror image, are called achiral object. And what is called chiral? Just opposite to it. So if any object is not superimposable to its mirror image, is called an chiral object. So let's see some example. So you can see that a chiral object is one that cannot be superimposed on its mirror image. So you can see that this is the image of our left hand, and if you put a mirror in front of that left hand, you will get the mirror image of the left hand, which is basically the right hand. Now if you take this left hand and if you try to place this left hand just exactly above its mirror image, which is the right hand, they cannot be superimposed. So you can try with your hands right now. So if you put your left hand onto your right hand, they will not be superimposed. So these types of objects are basically called chiral object, which are not at all superimposable with its mirror image. On the other hand, if you take this simple flask and if you put a mirror and you will get the mirror image of that flask, you can see that these two flasks are exactly superimposable. So that's why these types of flask are called a chiral object. Okay, so I hope that you get the my point, that what is the way of identify any chiral object and achiral object. It is very simple. Put a mirror in front of that object and try to superimpose that object with that mirror image. So simply using this trick, you can identify which is chiral, which is achiral object. Okay. So basically the word that is chiral, that is came from a Greek word which is called a care. I don't know how to pronounce it, but this is the Greek word from which the word chiral basically came. So this care means hand. So basically all the concepts of chirality come right from the hand. So you can see that our hand is basically a chiral object. So from that these types of concept came. Okay. Now one point I just want to bring into the notice, that the whatever any object is chiral or not, totally depending upon the structure of the object. The structure of that object basically decides that whether it will be a chiral object or it will be sorry, an achiral object. So let's see how it actually occurs. So you can see that this is an object that is basically a simple coffee mug, and this you can see this is the handle of that coffee mug, and there are something printed in that coffee mug, and in front of that there is a mirror, and you can see the mirror image of that coffee mug. Now you can simply understood that this coffee mug is basically a chiral object, because you cannot superimpose this coffee mug with its mirror image. Now if you simply cut this handle and wipe out whatever written or printed in front of that coffee mug, then it will be a very simple white colored coffee mug. And if you try to imagine its mirror image, then you will see that this coffee mug, after subtracting this handle and wiping out this printing, this coffee mug will be exactly same to its mirror image. So you can see that by changing the structure of any object, you can convert any object into chiral or achiral. So basically chirality or achirality of any object totally depending upon the structure. Okay. Now our human body is also structurally chiral. So previously in the previous slide, whatever the example I have given you based on the chirality are totally given you from the day-to-day experience, but in a smaller scale, the organic molecules or whatever organic molecules that is our body composed of, they are also structurally chiral. So these organic molecules also have some structure, and if you see that only one type of image or only one mirror image form is only available in our body, another mirror image is missing. So that's why it is called that our body is totally structurally chiral. So whatever the molecule that is present or organic molecule that is present in our body are one type of mirror image, and another type of its mirror image is missing. So that's why our body is called structurally chiral. Now that's why whatever the pharmaceuticals drugs that we are using to alleviate many problems in our body are also chiral, because if they are not chiral, they will not act in our body, because our body is also structurally chiral. So that's why whatever the medicines or pharmaceuticals that is needed in our body should also be chiral. So that is the point that I want to take in front of you. Now our senses, our taste, our smell also depend upon the chirality. Now you can see that only one type of mirror image form of a molecule will smell one type, and if you take another mirror image of its molecule, it will smell another type. So whatever our receptor in our body, which is basically responsible to give us the sense of the taste or smell, are also chiral. So that's why we can sense only one type of molecule. So if you anyway able to produce exactly mirror image of any molecule, we will see that it will totally taste or smell different, because our receptor is also chiral. So you can see that a chirality can change anything. So if two molecules are chiral, they are structurally same, they are having same bond connectivity, same three-dimensional structure, but still they are different because they are chiral. So that's why chirality is very important issue or a very important topics in organic chemistry. So all those aspects of chirality, stereochemistry will be discussed in detail in this lecture series. And in the next lecture, I will discuss about the isomerism, that is constitutional isomerism, stereoisomerism, etc. So till now, if you do have any question or any query regarding this lecture, you can ask me through the comment section, and I will definitely respond to all of your query. And I hope that you have enjoyed this lecture, and I will see you very soon with the new lecture. Till then, take care of yourself. Bye bye.